Hello all and welcome to All Red. It's Liverpool visiting Brentford in what is an absolute must-win game. This is a must-win game. No draws, no losses. This is more important than Forest, honestly. Like, I know we got a draw at Forest, but you go into a game against Brentford. These are the games you have to win to be in the title contention. I'm sorry, I know we're clear at the top, but we have to be winning games against Brentford, even away. This is a must win because this is the channel that is all Liverpool all the time. It's All Red. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing as we continue to build the best club in the entire world. Well, we're not building it. I guess we are, but we're covering the best club in the entire world. So jump on board. We'd love to have you in the community. Let's go through the projected starting 11, and then we've got score predictions at the end. So at the back, there's been some dialogue here with Alisson Becker. I don't see Slot taking him out in favor of Caoimhin Kelleher. I think it's Alisson's position, and I think it's because I think Arne Slot likes the control that Alisson gives when we have possession. Now, we know Alisson Becker, he's class. I think he's just going to probably play himself into form here, and I think that's what Arne Slot is going for. I wouldn't be gutted to see Kelleher start this game, but I still think this is Alisson Becker's position until, Arne Slot feels otherwise. But I expect him to be in there. I think it's Konate and Van Dijk. I know Konate said he was not at full strength, but he's playing. He's got to be in there. Honestly, Ibrahim Konate, if he gets injured again, I think we have really, really big issues. But I think he's in. Him and Van Dijk in the middle against Brentford. It has to be. All right, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold in there as well. He's just an enigma right now. I don't know what to think about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's obviously, he can't play any worse than he played against Manchester United, but still just doesn't quite look like the Trent we know and love from maybe a year or two ago, or even earlier in the season. I thought he was playing much better than he's playing now. Maybe it's fatigue. Maybe it's, just the emotional roller coaster that is the Premier League season. But Trent Alexander-Arnold will be in there to start against Brentford. And then I think here's the first change. I think it's Tsimikas. I think he has to come in, guys. I just don't know how Arne Slot continues to put Andy Robertson starting in at the left back. We saw the shift that happened when Tsimikas came in for Robertson against Forest. And, I love Robbo. I really do. Club legend. But I think it's time that this is Tsimikas' position. I'd still love to see us go get a left back this window. It's not going to happen, but we are desperately in need of a starting left back. I don't know that we have one in the squad currently, but Tsimikas, I think, should come in and fill that position against Brentford. I think we're going to have some real problems if we've got to see Bryan Mbeumo go up against Andy Robertson. I don't want to see that. I think that would be a recipe for disaster. And I really don't want to have to go through that. So that's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem all game because he is in form. He's scoring goals. He's strong. He's pacey. So hopefully Tsimikas is in there and up for the task because that's going to be a big test. All right. It's Gravenberch and McAllister in the middle. Both of these guys are playing very well. Probably the best midfield duo in England and possibly in the world at the moment. They're both playing really well. I'd like to see maybe one of these guys just get forward and score a goal every once in a while. I know we've seen McAllister do that, and it's probably just a function of Gravenberch being the deepest lying midfielder that he doesn't get forward to score more goals. But, let's see some goal contributions from some others, besides Mo Salah. Szoboszlai played really well against Forest. I want to see him in there. I want to see him get more of his legs underneath him after being sick because I think he's really good, and I think Arne Slot has figured out how to unlock Szoboszlai. So I want to see that progression continue. I don't want to see him take a game off, give it to Jones, and let Szoboszlai sit. Get him in there. This is a player that needs game time. He needs to continue to progress and get better and better, and we're seeing that every single week. Szoboszlai has to start against the Bees. All right, front three is interesting, guys. I do think Salah starts against Brentford. I think we're maybe starting to see a little bit of a dip from Salah. You know, he didn't score against Forest, and he played pretty poorly. But I'm not going to say, oh, it's time to bench Mo Salah. He's been brilliant all season. His goal assists, they're, you know, invaluable to the team. So get him in there, and, you know, maybe 60th, 70th minute, you get him a rest, bring in, you know, Diaz or whoever's on the bench. But Mo Salah's got to start right now. And I think he's going to be in there against the Bees. It's Gakpo on the left. I thought Gakpo played pretty well against Forest. He had 1 or 2 chances that just really fine saves from the Forest goalkeeper, who's been really, really good all season. But Gakpo, I think, is just one of those guys that can score at any time. And I think he's made that left wing position his own and kind of pushed Diaz out of there. I know Diaz has been playing in that false 9 role, but I think Gakpo has kind of pushed him out and forced Slot's hand to kind of be the guy, the first choice there on the left wing. All right, who starts as striker for Liverpool? Is it Darwin? Is it Jota? Is it Diaz? Well, I'm going Diogo Jota, and I think there's pretty much no argument here. We need players that can score. I think that's our biggest issue right now. I actually don't think it's our defense. I don't think it's our midfield. We need players who can score. If Mo Salah is not scoring in a game, what are we going to do? And that answer is Diogo Jota. We can't really rely on Diaz. We can't really rely on Darwin Núñez. We have to play Diogo Jota in that role as the number 9. Now, the biggest issue there is, can Diogo Jota be a prolonged starter in the Premier League? We have not seen it from him. I don't know if Arne Slot has tweaked his fitness profile or whatever, but Diogo Jota needs to start moving forward. Get him in there, get him scoring goals, get him into a rhythm. We need the goals. Like, that's our biggest issue. That was our biggest issue last year too around this time. We just couldn't score goals. We were getting 20, 30 shots in a game and nothing was getting into the back of the net. So Diogo Jota has to be in there, has to start. That's my starting 11. All right, score predictions, guys. I do think Brentford scores. Liverpool at the moment do not look like a team that are interested in getting a clean sheet. So I do think Brentford scores. I do expect Bryan Mbeumo to be an issue. And so I think Brentford score. And I think Liverpool score just a little bit more. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory for Liverpool. It's going to be tight. It's going to be a difficult match. Hopefully, you know, I think Brentford probably comes out and tries to mimic the Forest tactics against us. Why wouldn't you? They seem to be working that mid to low block. And so hopefully Arne Slot has figured out how to beat that. And I just want to see us come out strong. Why is this Liverpool team always coming out in the first half and struggling? Like, I thought Arne Slot was the manager who could come into a game with a game plan, knowing what the opposition is going to do, and like come out and like hit them on the head straight away. It's not what's happening. We always have to take a half and either concede or go into the half 0-0. And then we usually come out and play well and much better in the second half. I don't understand why that is the case with this team. But anyways, let me know what you think in the comments. Get your score predictions in. What did I get wrong in the starting 11? And we'll see you Saturday for Liverpool against Brentford.